Good afternoon. I find today's topic very interesting because it's about spaces. So I want to talk about the space that means the most to all of you. And I'm talking about the social media space. To be honest, it is the only space that most of you can relate with. All of you are mostly on your phones or using your iPads or laptops. So clearly coming from my generation, where I'm Generation X, to the millennial generation today, we're talking about a big leap in technology and a very different use of space. Have you ever unfriended someone because you fought about a candidate? Raise your hand. There you go. It got that bad. Facebook got so personal that you had to unfriend a best friend. Isn't that the irony? You unfriend a best friend because you exchange ideas on Facebook that you don't agree. But it wasn't just an exchange of ideas. That's why you unfriended them. You know what it was? At some point during the last elections, you all broke into each other's personal space. Do you agree? Boundaries were broken. You felt this friend crossed the line. He or she invaded a space. I was willing to listen to an exchange of ideas, but what he said, she said, crossed a personal space. And this is why I decided to talk about this today. All of you are responsible for taking care of your personal space and the space of other people on social media. Just because it is social does not mean you have to lose your sense of space. Social media was supposed to give people a venue to speak, to let your voice be heard. But has it become a vehicle wherein if you stand alone, you are the lone reed in a voice of one kind? Instead of you being empowered to speak, you have lost your voice. Do you feel that? You disagree with a point of view. Suddenly you are trolled, bashed, bullied. And instead of you being given a space to actually speak, what happens is you think, perhaps my thoughts are wrong. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps there's something wrong with me. Why is it that everybody feels a certain way and I don't? So I'm going to show you my personal experience in the last presidential debate. I moderated the ABS-CBN presidential debate.
Safe.
Anong posisyon sa gabinete ang ibibigay nyo sa babae?
Tourism, pati, well, if she's really bright, finance, any
Name your
position.
top campaign contributor. Sino siya?
Nasa bukid, ma'am.
Anong pangalan, sir?
Emilio Aguinaldo, I think.
Sabi niyo po, you cannot be a president if you cannot kill. Papatay ba kayo kung kayo'y pangulo?
No, it's not the actual. Takot kang mamatay, takot kang pumatay, huwag kang magpresidente.
Anong sitwasyon ang posibleng mag-udyok sa inyo para magdeklara ng martial law?
Well, rebellion, lawless violence, and rebellion and lawless violence.
So, posible ang martial law sa panunungkulan nyo?
No, cannot be. Wala namang, hindi na ganoon kalawak ang rebellion natin.
Papayag ka bang mailibing sa libingan ng mga bayani si dating Pangulong Marcos?
Yes, definitely yes. Because it has divided the country until now. Halos lahat ng Ilocano galit kung bakit ganon ang nangyari. It's time to heal.
Kaaway na ba natin ang Amerika kapag kayo'y naging Pangulo?
Sila lang man nag-aaway. It was a response to a question coming from media It's a concocted hypothetical question and I was only replying to it. Yes, kung gusto nila.
Alright. Kaaway mong illegal na droga, anong gagawin nyo sakaling malaman po ninyo na isa sa mga anak nyo ay gumagamit ng illegal na droga?
Patayin mo.
May anak po ba kayong nalulong o gumamit ng illegal na droga?
Everything is okay. Everybody is okay, sir. My order is, even if it is a man, kill him.
Alright.
I wanted to show this because what you just saw was a segment on the third presidential debate of ABS-CBN, which I moderated, and this was a segment on Fast Talk. We did a Fast Talk segment. And all the questions with then candidate, who is now President Duterte, if you look at the questions then, aren't they all relevant today? Don't you agree? None of us saw that coming. The burial of former President Marcos was a big issue. There was a rally. Declaration of martial law, doesn't President Duterte, in many of his speeches, mention this repeatedly. I asked him about, papatay ka ba? Kung may nalaman kang may kamag-anak ka na nagdroga. He said yes. And I asked him the next logical question, may anak ka ba na nagdroga? He said no. But we see that the forefront of President Duterte's government in the first 6 months has been his war on drugs. Why am I showing you that video? After I did the debate, I was congratulated in Pangasinan by my bosses, the public, the crowd. But something really disturbing happened. A friend of mine texted me and said, Karen, have you opened Facebook? Have you seen Twitter? So this was 12 midnight because that particular debate, which was live, ended at 12. I said, no, I haven't seen it. Karen, you better what? You better open. Now, the viewership of ABS-CBN among the other networks was the largest among the three. 46% of the Filipino people were watching this debate. I opened it. I could not believe what I saw. I opened Facebook, and I'm going to say this openly because, well, you're savior and you're mature, and this is TED Talks. I saw bullying like I've never seen it before. Putang ina mo, Karen Davila, mamatay ka na. Ma-rape ka sana. Pag nakita kita sa Rockwell, sasaksakin kita. Kaya ka may anak na autistic, biased ka. Bayaran ka. I'm sorry, there are kids in the audience, but it loses impact if I don't tell you. There were over 70,000 social media messages wanting me killed or raped. Think about that. Think about it. And I'll be honest with you. It bothered me. I asked myself, was I wrong for asking those questions? I'm human. But this is the other side of social media. I was bullied. Now, am I going to cry and tell you, oh my God, pity me, I was bullied? No. It's par for the course. I'm an adult. It's there. What happens next? Imagine yourself waking up to being hated by a whole universe you don't know. I then posted a photo after 3 days in Twitter of me and then Mayor Duterte. Because right after the debate, I took a selfie with him. The irony was, among all the candidates, he was the only one I approached for a photo. Isn't that the irony of life? So I posted that photo, and I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but I said, he's the leading presidential candidate. He can handle the toughest questions. And my take is, when you're the leading candidate, anywhere in the world, you shouldn't have it easy. You know why? You're bound to win. And when you're bound to win, it means that you have to show that you're ready. A day after, it was interesting that President Duterte, then mayor, came out with a statement, all on Facebook. This is all on Facebook. I never spoke with him after he won or during the campaign other than interviews. And he said to his followers, don't bash her, stop it, I was not offended. And a strange thing happened. Almost 80% of the negative comments about me on social media disappeared. So what am I saying? Is everything you're reading organic? The answer is no. It is not. During the campaign season, you may think it's organic, but a lot of it are organized followers trumping one tune. And you need to be sharp enough to see it. If you don't, you will fall into the trap and think, if everybody thinks this way and I don't, there must be something wrong with me. And I'm here to tell you, no, there is nothing wrong with you. Social media has introduced something else, an intrusion into your personal space. And you know what it is? Your mind. Social media will let you bandwagon. It will teach you, you know what? It's easier to be with a group, to go with a crowd. Well, I'm here to tell you, stop it. Don't go with the crowd. Even if you're on Facebook, and it automatically, do you know that Facebook automatically picks all the things that you read because it has a scientific method of already finding what you read? Learn to get away from the box. Search for new things. Look for a different point of view. Don't fall into the trap of being in that point of view. My tips for social media, which is, this is a personal experience. Number one, you may think, oh my God, my settings are private. Well, forget it. Nothing is private. Nothing. If you want to post yourself naked, I'm telling you, when you apply for a job at Citibank, Goldman Sachs, Globe, Smart, they're going to find that photo. They will. More and more people, job applications, they look at Facebook. What has this person been posting? What was he or she like in college? So don't think, oh, I am super private. Right? Only the friends of my family and friends' friends can see me. There's no such thing. 2, if you're unsure of something you've posted, delete it. I realized that millennials today think this way, ay, na-post ko na, nakakahiya, ayoko i-delete, paninindigan ko. Am I right? Stop it. It's a false sense of pride. It is just social media. It is not a binding contract. Do you understand? Next. When you engage, don't malign, insult, or humiliate. I want you to go back to your values. What did your mother teach you? Pwede mo bang murahin ang isang tao face-to-face? Hindi mo naman kaya gawin yun eh. So what gives you the right to do it on social media? Would you slap a person in front of you? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't humiliate somebody in front of you or here in Xavier. What gives you the license to think when it's social media, it's okay? Don't accept profanity and bullying on your page. What you accept and tolerate will foster. My advice, when people are cursing on your page, you've got to block it or delete it. Don't make it acceptable as a new language for you. Learn to block. Most of us are scared to block. Put back the line. Don't let people intrude on your personal space. Blocking protects your personal space. Do not post what you want if you can't tell somebody in person. You need to learn respect online. This is very important. Verify requests, links, attachments, downloads. When you don't verify, you have an invasion of your space, which then becomes either you're hacked, material is stolen, or frankly, there's a virus somewhere. And this is important. Don't lead a fake life. I know all of us will only post good things on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And it's right. I don't believe that you should post how depressed you are. If you're very depressed, I think you should talk to your parents, your counselor, a close friend. You have to stop seeing social media as an intimate concept of there's just one person there. It isn't like that. And it's important to start by being authentic. Don't pretend. Don't pretend you own a Mercedes-Benz when really it was your friends and you chose to sit there and have a photo. You get the point? Don't be that poser. It will harm you in the end. Don't reveal feelings online. Don't share everything. This is what I've realized. I look at millennials' pages. I have pamangkins, younger, and everything. They're naked online, shooting themselves, talking to themselves. I understand how things have changed, but you must remember this. Try and preserve your personal space. Get it back. You know how you'll be empowered? When you detach. You have to see social media as a tool. You cannot treat it as you. Am I making sense? And the last one, detach. Count your hours. Are you in social media for 2 hours? After a while, drop the phone. Let go. Go wireless. Talk to people. It is not the world. And that's the end of my presentation, and I want to close with this. The spaces we have today are defined clearly, limitlessly. But let me invite you once again to value your personal space. And when I say personal space, I mean this. The personal space where you were taught good things, good values, what's right and wrong, what's respectful. Bring that to the open space of social media. Engage insightfully, intelligently. Stick to what is true and good, even when you banter or disagree. Thank you very much and have a good day.